Hello Beauty News family, welcome to the November episode of Beauty News. My name is Hailey and this is Kat. What side is she going to be on? I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. We are going to catch you guys up on the recent beauty and makeup and fragrance and nail polish releases, I think. And our favorite thing to talk about at the moment is perfume, so we live for that.
We're going to start with some sort of brand news, and we've got two makeup brand closures. And I'm going to say, I remember we did a video earlier this year talking about brands closing, because I think earlier this year there was like a cluster of brands closing at the same time. And we did a video sort of reflecting on what you all thought was going to disappear soon and what we thought. And I'm sure these brands were mentioned, so we're on the money. Lime Crime Makeup has closed, but they're keeping the hair products, which I think we also predicted. And then we've also got Coloured Rain. So RIP, Safari Rain is a beautiful palette. They made some really good formulas, but they haven't been relevant and really releasing much in the last few years. So the writing was on the wall. They're closing as well.
Yeah. Neither of these really surprised me. And of course, I think we'll see a lot more in the future. We have seen a new brand and being announced basically. It's Paris Hilton. She's looking like she's going to launch a beauty brand called 1111 Beauty. It's being launched through Guthrie Renker. Now, Guthrie Renker have a couple of brands under their belt at the moment. Nothing like super interesting. JLo Beauty is one of them. And then there's a few others that I haven't heard of, and it looks like you'd find them on a shopping channel. As for the name 1111 Beauty, Paris Hilton has a couple of other like companies underneath that name umbrella. She's inspired by the numbers. Sort of,
the what is it, the angel hour or the something hour?
Yeah, it's like, yes, yeah. Now we haven't seen any products or anything like that, so it's still early days, but I think they said that it would be launching in early 2025.
I just have to ask a question. So, Hailey just recently turned 40. Yay! I'm 38. Does anyone who is younger than us actually know who the heck Paris Hilton is? Because I feel like I don't know. I just don't know why she keeps coming back for more.
Paris has her finger in many, many pies. She does DJing. I know that. She's got like, she's making music and stuff. She also had like a baking brand, which I think still exists. And I'm sure there is so much more. I mean, we've had Paris Hilton fragrances and all that jazz. Oh gosh, I've seen some of the discourse online about this brand launching is people saying like this would have been much more relevant like 20 years ago, which I think is a really fair statement to make, and I also agree with you if you feel that way. And I've seen some other people saying like she's gonna have to get into like the nostalgia side of things to even like tap into the market. And I think that could be accurate as well, because I'm just really not sure if she has enough presence to really be making a successful like beauty or makeup brand at this time. Kind of like JLo Beauty. I'm like, who is buying that? And I don't say that to be like sassy or mean. I'm just thinking in like an overall, the current climate of the beauty industry, do I genuinely feel that JLo Beauty is like making millions and millions of dollars in sales a year? No. But and I just don't.
I think there is a difference though. So we have seen some, what I would call, not classic celebrities, but celebrities that have been around for a long time making beauty brands. And the most recent is obviously Dolly Parton. But she's got music that people still listen to this very day. Paris Hilton has not much. Like, she's tried music, she's tried fashion, she's tried everything. And that was when I was in high school. So that was over 20 years ago. So I I don't think this is going to be a success. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I think this is... Yes. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares but Paris. So we've seen a lot of holiday releases over the last few months. We will do a sort of recap video soon. We are going to do it last month, but we've been very busy. But since it's coming to like the end of the year, we are starting to see some Lunar New Year releases pop up. The first one we've seen is by MAC. This is the Year of the Snake collection. I don't really care for this too much. So we do have some lipsticks. We've got liquid eyeshadows. There's a face palette which has a highlighter and contouring shades. And then there's a loose powder in a lavender shade. It looks like the packaging is like oil slick colored. And then in the pans of the face palette, you've got the snake skin. I think this looks tacky. And there's also a green lipstick, which I think is interesting. But yeah, this is the first of many collections we'll be seeing.
I wasn't really wowed by this. I do like the oil slick packaging, but I'm not. No money for you.
Okay. Finally, Nikki Tutorials has released something that I feel like she should have started her brand with. So Nimya is Nikki Tutorials' brand. She launched a couple of years ago. There was skincare. There was a face fan thing going on. She's since released a few, like an eyeshadow palette and some liquid or some putty sort of blushes. But finally, she's released her sort of thing that she's well known for, which is highlighters. So she has released 3 highlighters. There is a video playing on the screen where it even shows that when she first started YouTube, how much she loved highlighters. Why wasn't this a thing she released first? I just do not know. I do not know. Yeah, it's bizarre. But
I would love to understand, or I would love to know her, like, why she chose to release what she did and when she did. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'd love to know the thought process behind it. But I think it's great that she's releasing them. I
think it's great that she's releasing them, and I would be tempted to buy them simply because I'm sort of back into highlighters, and also I feel like if she has finally brought out a highlighter after all these years, I would hope that it is awesome. I'm hoping it's awesome. We've got a champagne colour, we've got a bronze colour, and a pink colour, which is good. I'm interested.
Yes.
I also think, and I'm going to call this early, if we want to talk about trend predictions of 2025, I feel like highlighters are coming back in a big way for a couple of reasons. Yeah. One, we've seen a lot of sort of glittery things happening at the moment, but also off the back of like so much blush, the next sort of thing is highlighter. So it's got to be highlighter. If it's not next year, it's coming up in the next couple of years because highlighters are going to boom. But what she's also released is like lip toppers, and these are like highlighters for your lips. Now, do I need this in my life? No. Do I think it's very pretty and on brand for her? Yes. And again, they're similar colors to the powder highlighters, so you can, have a nice shiny lip and a nice shiny face. I like this. I just think that I would have had a much better first impression of her brand if she released this first. And that's my issue with it.
Yeah, I agree. I would have expected makeup from her first. And I mean, even if it couldn't be highlight because she didn't have, like, she wasn't happy with the formula or she was, working shit out. Like, I would have at least expected makeup of some sort. Speaking of trends, we're noticing something going on in the lip game at the moment, and that appears to be like glossy, shimmery, brown lip gloss. So we've seen one from Rhode, which is a limited edition single release shade. So this one is called Cinnamon Roll, and it's a spiced brown that smells like warm glazed cinnamon roll, and it has a gold like shimmer in it. It sounds delicious. It's making me hungry. We've also seen one from Henriksen, but it's part of a trio that they are releasing. It's new shades of the Pout Preserve Hydrating Peptide Lip treatment. So the brown shade is Creme Brulee Glimmer. Then there's Lingonberry Jam Glimmer and Citrus Sunshine Glimmer. So basically shimmery brown followed by a like purpley dark berry and a pale yellow. I think it's meant to be a little bit more translucent on the lips. But again, another thing that we're kind of seeing is like peptides in lip products, and we have been seeing them for a while, and they're supposed to help like plump the lips, hydrate the lips, protect, repair, all that jazz. If you want a cheaper option though, we've got collections from both e.l.f. and L'Oreal, and they also have brown shimmery lip glosses in them. So from e.l.f. we have new shades of the Glow Reviver Lip Oil. There's 8 shades available. I'm not going to go through them all because this isn't even the end of the lip products, guys.
No, but they're all shimmery.
They're all shimmery. They're all shimmery and they come in all different colors and they're nice and affordable. And there's a brown one if you want to get onto the trend.
And a yellow.
We've also got We've also got Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil from L'Oreal. There is a brown one in there, but unfortunately no yellow. So I don't know what they're doing. They're obviously not hip with the times, unfortunately. And finally, from Milani, we have, it's basically a solid lip gloss. So this is a Keep It Full Glossy Plumping Balm. It's a 3-in-1 like multitasking lip product. It comes in 12 shades, and I believe there is a brown.
But it's not shimmery, which is a sad part about it. So
not shimmery. Oh no.
I feel like this is a dupe for the Tarte ones, the maracuja lip balms that they've been bringing out.
They're really nice. I like them.
Yeah, I feel like this is a Milani version of it. Moving on from lips, there is something sparkly and pretty from SheGlam. These are jelly, like solid jelly eyeshadow sticks. They're called the Crystal Jelly Glaze Sticks. There are 6 shades available and they're very twinkly and pretty. That's all I have to say about them. They
are super pretty.
I would order one if I was placing an order because these are gorgeous. And I feel like as well, we're getting into the sort of twinkly holiday season, which is fun. I dig it.
We have a new palette from Viseart. I feel like it's been such a long time since we talked about this brand, Kat. Like, I've got some nostalgia feelings going on. It's called something that I can't pronounce. Sireneuse Etendu. I'm sorry to all of our French viewers.
We're gonna have 0
it's inspired
after
by yeah, exactly. They're like delete, block. It's inspired by the legends of the Night Sea and Poseidon's starlit kingdom. So it's $44 US. There are 12 shades in the palette. It's meant to be like duochromatic kind of excitingness. It's a nude palette. I love nude palettes, but I don't know. I don't love this.
Look, I'm going to say I like this. I like it in general, but knowing, like, we used to report on their new releases very regularly, and we did buy quite a few. Mm-hmm. This feels like you've just taken their collection, shaken it up, and then thrown it in a palette and gone, it's new. It feels like everything here is from another palette, which it probably is, to be fair. Yeah. Now, I know that their popular things are nudes, so, you know, it makes sense. But I also feel like not every brand needs to bring out new things if they don't have anything new to add to their range. Because this is not new. Yeah. And there are some cool looking shades, like this one that looks bluey, pinky, but that was in a quad that they released a couple of years ago. It's still available. So again, it just feels really repetitive. And I think this looks nicer in the palette than it does swatched on the arm.
Than it does on the swatch.
It looks so boring. Well. It's putting me to sleep. It's so boring. Even the nice dark green that they've got going on, which is adding that ocean vibe, it just looks blackened and boring on the swatches. So
yes, it does.
They've lost me as a fan.
I was confused. Like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I do love a nude palette, I've always felt like Viseart don't, like, their sparkly shades aren't quite like hitting the mark for what I typically like these days. But I thought this is a palette, like, it's pretty, I could wear it, I like it. But then when I saw the swatches, I was like, where is the, wait, there's a black? I didn't realize there was a black.
And where's the duochrome ones? Like, you can't say, they need to hire Pat McGrath's photographer.
Yeah.
Because this is shite.
I just don't, yeah. Look, here's my thing about nude palettes, right? I understand a lot of people feel like they're really, really boring. But I think if you love a nude palette, you love a nude palette. Like, you're obsessed with it and you want to see all of them. And nude palettes don't have to be boring. Like, texture is your friend when it comes to nude palettes, and also nuance of color. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, get some interesting shades in there. They really don't have a lot of mattes in there, which I don't mind. And I think the mattes that they do have cover good bases. But their shimmers in this, the swatches, nah, mate, fucking snooze fest. It's not for me. And I feel like they could have done more.
And this kind of thing, it almost makes me want to mark them as a brand that in the next couple of years, they're going to be like, we're having 80% off because we're closing down. I don't know why.
I agree with what Kat's saying there. I understand the thought process of how she got to saying that. I get it. I totally get it. I saw something really stupid on the internet, and it's this freckle pen from Tarte. Or maybe it's not stupid. Maybe it's also a little bit clever. This appears to be a multi-prong freckle application pen. So it's got 5 points to it that create little clusters of freckles in 5 seconds, they say. Comes in 4 shades and it's $26. I think the freckle craze is like, it's been around for a long time now. And I remember when brands were first bringing out these types of products, I was like, back in my day, like when I was a kid, people who had freckles hated them and people would try to hide them. So it has surprised me a little bit that this trend has stayed so like in the mix for so many years now. But I think what surprises me even more is that it took this long for a brand to come up with something like this.
That's true.
Unless there's been something like this and I've just missed it, which is totally possible.
We're not in the freckle like niche.
Sphere.
Yeah, like it is a niche part of the makeup industry because, a lot of people wear base products, but not everyone wants to wear a freckle pen. So,
correct.
Yes, like it could have been out, but I do agree with you. Like, this is making it potentially 5 times easier to apply, which I'm all for.
5 times faster.
I don't. It's funny. I don't vibe with the freckle trend only because I've never had freckles. So I would feel like I am putting on like someone else's identity. Like it feels disingenuous for me. Even though I can wear like a bright red lip. Yeah, and even though I obviously don't have bright red natural lips, so makeup doesn't have to be natural, but I feel like freckle pens are probably best for people who naturally have freckles. They don't want them completely covered up. So when you put your makeup on, you sort of add them back in.
Bringing them back.
So I think that's where they probably most suit people. People that have 0 freckles and they just want to like one day wear a lot of freckles. It's odd. It's like, it's odd. I find it a bit odd. It's not for me.
Yeah.
If it's you, go for your life. Not for me.
Yeah.
Okay, on to collaborations, and we have quite a few this month, unfortunately. The first one I want to touch on really quickly is Beauty Creations Cosmetics and Bratz. Now, we did see a Bratz collection from Colourpop about a month ago, so this feels a bit redundant, but there is some ugly shit in here. These, like, flip phone type things, holy mother of fuck. What is this? It's like lip gloss pans in a flip phone. I'd rather die than spend my money on... Not quite. I if it came down to me dying, I would spend my money on this crap. But this would be delivered to my house and then straight in the bin. This is trash.
Yeah. This
Oh
is,
my God.
it's like, hello, this is 1992 calling.
And I don't want
like
your
it.
fucking lip glosses by... It is horrible.
How did you get my number? Fuck off.
Go away. Yeah, it is bad. Anyway, there's more photos on the screen if you are interested in that.
Oh, I hate this as well.
Yeah.
It's from Bobbi Brown and it's with Pac Man.
To be fair, though, I have to say with this one, the products are ugly. I kind of like the packaging. I kind of like that it looks like the Black Game.
That's fair.
I kind of like it,
Yeah.
but that's
the old
where
school one.
my interest in this
ends.
The palette is ugly. There's like red lip glosses. There's lipsticks. There's a powder and a highlighter. I don't know what's going on. I feel like this is like, some people are excited for it because they think back to like playing Pac Man as a kid. That's fair. I get that. And I also think like people are like, what is this? How does it make sense? Do you know why I think it makes sense? Because if you can afford a full face of Bobbi Brown, chances are you grew up with Pac Man days. Because it's not cheap to do that. And you probably paid off your house like 20 years ago. Something that has just popped up. So if there's more information, cool, we'll have it on the screen. This is a Clionadh Cosmetics collaboration. We haven't heard from them in a while. They do nail polishes now, which is pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah, but they're bringing out a collection with a beauty creator person that I don't really know much about, but Bad to the Brow, Millie, aka Millie, has sort of curated a 9-pan multi-chromatic palette. There's a brush set, a mini nail polish trio, and a Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer. It's launching the 29th of November, so hopefully, I don't know when this is coming out, soon. If you're interested, there you go.
I have to just say, I don't know anything about this. This is the first time I'm seeing it. What Kat just said was literally like me learning everything for the first time. I like it.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
I think the palette's pretty, and I'm liking the shades of the nail polishes and the fact that they're minis.
Yeah. Perfection.
Yes, please.
More brands should do nail polish minis. Because I want variety.
I agree.
And I never the
Same.
only nail polishes I ever finish are like base coats and top coats. I
Base
don't
and
think
top.
I've finished
Absolutely.
a full nail polish in years and years and years and years. I can't even remember last time I did it. So minis all the way.
And I feel like some people will argue that they dry out faster, but you can get, like, for years you've been able to get stuff that revives your nail polishes, and nail polishes don't go bad because they've got so many
They're just
chemicals in them.
It's just chemicals.
So, yeah. We've got a few editing updates to give you guys. We've seen some new palettes. First up, we have Glaminatrix Cosmetics with their new mini palette collection. So there's 4 palettes available and they each contain 6 eyeshadows. We've got Elegant Eyes, which is brown, Entrancing Eyes, which is red, Exquisite Eyes is green, and Elevated Eyes is blue. They're retailing for $55 Australian each, or you can buy the full set for $200. And they are launching today, Friday the 29th of November at 8 a.m. We've also got a new palette from Singe Beauty. This is the Galactic Visitor palette, and it's launching as a pre-order on Friday, November 29th at noon CST. This is an 18-pan eyeshadow palette that consists of 10 mattes, 3 metallics, 2 duochrome iridescent toppers, and a holographic duochrome shadow. It's going to retail for $45. And when we look at the swatches of this palette, you can see that the colors are pretty much split 50-50. We've got some really beautiful burgundy shades and reds that I absolutely love, along with some nudes and yellows, peaches and golds. And then we've got some blue, some teal, some really pretty minty greens in there, and a black for definition. Another collaboration that we've seen is from Melt and Bailey Sarian. So this is the Fatally Yours 2 collection. This includes the Fatally Yours eyeshadow palette, 4 lipsticks, Saint lip gloss, Tempt Metalize duochrome eyeshadow gel, Scarlet gel liner, a blush and lashes, and also a mirror and a clutch that has this like chain wrist thing. I don't know.
That's weird.
I I wasn't really surprised to see this collection, but there's one thing, like the thing that makes me not like it is it being called Fatally Yours and knowing the type of content that Bailey Sarian makes, like applying makeup or, you know, doing a get ready with me type thing while she talks about, you know, cases of people who have lost their life at the hands of another person. And I just feel, I just don't like it. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, I think
makes me feel a certain type of way.
Yeah. But that's how a lot of people have that opinion of her channel in general, like makeup tutorials and crime, which
the crossover.
Yeah. Like some people really vibe it. So that's cool if that's you. Feel
and
free.
That's fine.
But a lot of people think it sort of is a bit tacky.
You know, Bailey has a huge following. So does Melt. I understand why they've created the collaboration, and I don't really have a problem with that. And I also don't have a problem with people who enjoy watching that type of content and like consuming it in that particular way. I watch a lot of true crime content as well. I really enjoy it. Calling it Fatally Yours is probably it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back for me.
I agree with you. Yeah. I also think that the makeup, like, I reckon you'll like the red, like the dark red eyeliner gel.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, there are things in here that I look at and I'm like, I like it. Also, she's got a really, like, the lip colours, too, very wearable. And there's, like, a beautiful greige in there. And if you've been watching beauty news for years, like going back to me being absolutely obsessed with greige lip colours, and there's also this really interesting nude shade. Like, you know, I wouldn't say that I'm shitting on the collection. I do see some things in there that I like, and I think it'll sell out. Yeah, honestly, I do.
Can I just say though that this look though, I've seen a lot pop up of like 2016 makeup trends and people talking about how it was such a wild time growing up and doing like a full beat, like full on contouring face every day. And we were there. We did exactly the same thing. Like lashes were a daily thing, and things have moved on, which I think is for the better. But this is like she's still deep in 2016.
She lives
She
there.
still lives in 2016.
Yeah.
So
I will say, I do think her makeup looks are beautiful. I can't identify with that now, because if I put that much makeup on my face, you can tell I'm 40.
The next collaboration is with SheGlam, and it's a Harley Quinn collaboration. Now, this is such a missed opportunity because they released this in November, whereas so many people dress up as Harley Quinn for Halloween. So, like, you should have released it earlier. I'm just going to say. It's so dumb. And especially since they actually, in here, they have hair chalk. So they have 2 pans of hair chalk, which are really cool. So essentially what you do is you, rub them together. There's like a foam on one end, and then you clip it in your hair and pull it, and it colours your hair.
Pull it through.
So that's a Halloween thing. It should have been out for Halloween. So this collection, I've never understood the Harley Quinn thing. It's not something that I'm like really interested in. But there is some crap in here, and then some really interesting stuff that I'd like to see more of. There's temporary tattoos. That makes sense. Cool. Halloween would have been great. There is an eye mask that looks like the old school Harley Quinn sort of black eye mask, which is interesting. There's a palette that looks bad. And whenever they swatch it, like they do swatch videos, they wet the pink one. And that's a red flag for me. Then
that's a bad sign.
They're a bad sign. And then we've got some multi-purpose stick products. So like you can put them on your cheeks, you can put them on your lips. One looks blue but turns pink, so it's a pH activated. But again, I think in this instance makes sense. You've got some pot lip balms, like a nude, a more of a brownie berry colour, and then one that's clear. But it does have swirled red and blue. So if you mix it together, it looks purple, but again, applies fairly clear. But the thing that I think is really cool, have you seen these lipsticks that look like they've got magnetic pigment? They're cool.
They look sick.
Yeah, and they've got some really cool imagery where they've got these videos where they're melting them. and they're sort of melting and looking shimmery and gorgeous. So do I want the lipsticks? No. Do I think they look awesome? And do I want to see more brands possibly bring this kind of thing out for Christmas? Yes. I also think, like, if you think of magnetic nail polish, so I'm wearing magnetic nail polish now, but if you think of it, when you mix the colours together, it's just a bit of a sheen. So it's not as if these will really impact the lip colour. It's just that they look fucking awesome in the tube. This is actually really interesting.
They do.
So I don't like this collection, but I like elements of it. I think it's quite innovative.
I don't want any of it, but there's some things that I want. So I want the lip gloss that has the blue and the red in it because I want to mix it up for myself. I would also really like one of those lipsticks so I can put it on my lips and see what it looks like and play with it and all that jazz. And then I want them to take it back because I don't actually want it. I think the color adjusting multi-purpose cheek product is genius because it's blue and then it self-adjusts to pink and they're Harlequin's colors. Look, I agree with what Kat said. This is a Halloween collection. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't want any of it, but also I don't blame you if you do want some of it.
Yeah. And my son would go crazy for that pink hair chalk stuff. So
absolutely.
He would wear that to
those
Canada.
hair chalks. I've seen them in the past, and we had them like not when I was little, but I think the first one I saw I was maybe like early teens, and they're kind of messy and gross and all that jazz, but they are good for like, especially if you have kids who want color in their hair and you want it to be something that can wash out.
Yeah. But these also look really pigmented, which normally
they do look very
normally
pigmented.
You don't get that. They look a bit wishy-washy.
And I mean, I would expect that being like 2024, how far we've come with like color cosmetics and shit like that. We should have really like punchy, vibrant hair chalks. So, you know, I don't hate it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Something I don't really like, and I'm never going to come around to this, is the Wet n Wild Hello Kitty 50th anniversary makeup collection. This is very wishy-washy makeup. There are some cute highlighters, like they've got the Hello Kitty face in the pan, but it's all very frosty, it's all very shimmery, it's all very light. And it also concerns me because Hello Kitty 50th anniversary, to me, alarm bells. We're going to see 47 other brands do this, and it's going to be boring. I do like the makeup sponge though. Like if you're a Hello,
talk about them all.
I agree. So if you're a Hello Kitty fan, this makeup sponge is cute, but I feel like this is purely targeted to the Hello Kitty fans, which there are many. I understand, but in terms of like good quality makeup, I don't really see it. But whatever.
Now, you may have noticed that we don't really have any holiday bits that we've talked about in this video, and that is on purpose. We are scheming and scamming a future holiday video to come, where Kat and I are going to go over all of the holiday collections. And we don't really...
Not all of.
Yeah, not all of.
Can't guarantee.
Probably, realistically, a portion, because there's like infinite holiday releases globally each year. So we will do that. It'll be coming up very soon. We just don't want to go over it twice because it sound like a broken record. So I'm going to let Kat take the first few things, but I just want to publicly say thank you very much to Kat for my birthday present, which was an absolute boatload of her favourite fragrances, and I love them all. So thank you, Kat.
Anytime. Okay, we've got a few celebrity fragrances. I'm not going to touch on them too much, but if you want to know about them, there's a few key things that I want to bag out. But firstly, we've seen a new Beyonce fragrance. So this is, I think, I don't know if it's available. It was available for pre-order. It is sort of like a white floral patchouli one. Not for me, maybe for you. Another celebrity that we're seeing is Khloe Kardashian bringing out XO Khloe. This looks basic as fuck. So it's got rose, lavender, sage blossom, orange blossom, praline, juicy peach, moss, tonka bean, soft wood, and sexy musks. I just think this would be the most generic, boring fragrance, but that look, it sums up the Kardashians in my opinion. One thing that's interesting, so this is it a celebrity? I don't know, probably not. But Marlena from Makeup Geek World, RIP, is coming out with a fragrance brand. Now, this is called Marste, which was the name of her clothing company, RIP, that closed down as well. So she has done a lot. She's had Makeup Geek Cosmetics. She's had a clothing line. She had a makeup online academy thing that I don't know if it's still going. And now she's got a fragrance line. Now, they seem to like topple over and then she tries something else. So good on her. I do know that she's been a big fan of fragrances for a long time. So this doesn't surprise me. Okay. But it seems like there are 6 fragrances coming out under her fragrance line. So we'll see. Yeah. I just feel like the Makeup Geek sort of connection ruins it for me. But I am bitter and old. So same. It is what it is.
All right. We have something
confusing
to discuss. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So come get comfy. Come sit down, grab a wine. Let's chat about this. It's from a brand called Born to Stand Out, and it's called Be My Cookie. Now, if you've never heard of Born to Stand Out, it is a Korean fragrance brand. And if you were to Google it, we'll just save you the time. It says it is owned by Jun Lim, who is the owner of the hottest niche perfume brand in the world currently. So that, listen, they have their like, what's it called when you do that thing
SEO.
where you make a website rank? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Their SEO is on point. They're paying the big bucks for that SEO.
Because it's not. And by the way, if you don't know, they're not the hottest niche brand in the world. Who the fuck are they? I don't know. And most people probably don't. So...
Correct. They do have a lot of fragrances, so I do suspect that they've potentially been around for a while and, you know, they're just sort of coming to the Western market now. I think really when you're looking at a picture like this with a cookie fragrance, like, people are going to pay attention because we love that shit. Now, what is interesting is the notes of the fragrance. So the olfactive notes are natural raspberry essence, crunchy cookie, castoreum, bourbon vanilla absolute, milk, and tonquatone. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now, there was a little bit of chitter chatter in the comments on the brand's post of this. I'm just reading the bottom one, of this, like, fragrance, and people are talking about poo, basically. They want to know what is scatol notes. Now, if you were to look at this post after watching this, you wouldn't, you'd be like, what are these people talking about? But if you go on over to Trend Mood, and I hope she leaves it there. I hope she never changes it. You'll notice that the last note is scatol. And people are wondering, what is this? So we've got some comments that people are saying, you know, does it smell like doo-doo? Does it have dookie notes? You know, elaborate on the scatol note. Now, they did elaborate. It's not dookie or doo-doo or the poopies. It is a floral and animalic scent.
So it smells like animals.
They call it, they call it sensual. So it's flowery poo. Animal
poo. But I also love, like, people are saying, so does it smell like shit or no? So the scatol note and the chocolate on the bottle had me worried. The dookie note, question mark. There is so much that is quite funny here. And also, they do describe it as the cookie you'll never forget for lovers who crave a little bit of sweet and a whole lot of dirty. It sounds it sounds like they're baiting in the, like, gourmand lovers. And then they're like, haha, here's animal shit. It's like
They
so
say
weird. It's so weird.
They say it's sweet but filthy, delicious but dangerous. Yeah, that's
a weird one.
Yeah. It actually makes me want to go back to their website and check out some of their other fragrances and the notes that are included. But I would actually recommend that you go to borntostandout.com and go to their like perfume section and then scroll right down to the very bottom of the page, and you will see what the brand thinks of, I guess, everything in general. Just go and have a look. You can't miss it.
Okay, last fragrance we're going to talk about is a new limited one from Imaginary Authors. Now, this is a chocolate themed one. There's no shit in this. Can confirm. Now, this is called Dipped in Chocolate, and this is a sort of collaboration with an ice cream brand, so Salt and Straw. Now, if you are familiar, they have a really popular fragrance called Whiff of Waffle Cone, which was a collaboration with this ice cream store, and it became a permanent addition to their range because it was very popular, and it's supposed to smell like waffles and maple syrup and that kind of jazz. This is supposed to be like the next iteration of that, but it's chocolatey. Now, when I was a little bit tipsy, I did buy this because it's website exclusive. So I had to get it shipped from the US. I wanted to smell it in store, but because we have this available in Melbourne in Law Perfumery, but I don't think this limited one was coming in stores. So I did blind buy it when I was a bit blind in bed at like 2 a.m. So it is what it is. I can tell you it's not as ooey gooey as it's making out, which is a bit of a shame. So it's got chocolate, cardamom, vanilla cream, sandalwood, benzoin, Sumatra, and Whiff of Waffle Cone, which is the original scent. To me, this is very sort of powdery chocolate, spicy, incensey. It's kind of odd, very powdery.
Oh.
Yeah, weird. It's a bit weird. I will probably use it more as a layering fragrance, but I'm also hoping that it like matures and becomes a bit ooey gooey over time. But yeah, so I think it's an interesting one, but I would 100% prefer to blind buy this drunk in bed than the scat one. So
yeah, I agree. I'm curious about shit cookie. Like, I want to know what it smells like.
Yeah, I want to know what it smells like too. I'm a bit scared. Also, can I tell you, Imaginary Authors also, they've released a new, I think it's an aquatic fragrance as well. I think it's like a version 2 of another one they had. I'll have information on the screen. But the one they released prior to this has like a cowboy on it, and that legitimately smells like, if you've ever had rabbits, had a barn or something, or been in a barn, it smells like hay, leather, and animal urine. So the animalic notes in some fragrances can be hella nasty. So I'm a bit scared of it, but I am slightly interested in that brand simply because I was looking at some of the other fragrances they have, and they have one that's like a rice smelling one. It was actually developed by the person that like developed the fragrances from Acro, which is quite a popular niche brand. They have like a whole bunch of different fragrances. So there are some like popular perfumers that develop some of the fragrances from that brand. So I don't know. I feel like their attitude and their SEO stuff really puts me off. Like we're the best niche brand in the world. It's like, are you, or are you just really good at using like Google? Yeah,
and you've got a lot of money to throw behind it.
Have they like hidden a lot of SEO stuff? So when people search for like scat porn, that it pops up. Like if you're into like filthy like scat stuff, here's a fragrance for you.
It's filthy and delicious. I hope you guys got a bit of a laugh out of that. I hope we didn't make you vomit. Feeling a bit nauseous myself. But that's it. We're going. We love you very much. We're going to be back next month, hopefully with more content. We wanted to have more content up in November. We just couldn't make it happen. I think December is still going to be quite busy for us, but we are going to try to get a bit more out. Now, a bit more out might actually come in the form of live chats We'll let you know when we know more about that. But yeah, keep an eye out. Let us know what your absolute weirdest perfume you've ever come across is. Let us know if you've tried Born to Stand Out, specifically Scat Cookie. And we will catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.